Well, there you are. Again, Charlie Greer Podcast. I do this every day today. So, my first live chat, if anybody can show up. First, like, share, subscribe. If you want to support the channel, the description, the information's in the description for Cash App. My handle is Charlie Greer Podcast. And for Zelle, that's my email. Let's do this. So, this is going to be like a general rant. I've never done a live chat. So hopefully some people will show up. You never know. Maybe not. Perhaps. Let's just leave it at that. Hope everybody had a good day. If anybody's out there. So yeah, general rant, if you will. Ruckus. What up, Ruckus? Kid, what up? How y'all doing? Yeah, I worked today. I was working today. Working man. Indy Pam, hello. Thank you for the birthday wish. You know what? I gotta put this on. I can put my glasses on and see. Let's see here. What's on the agenda tonight? Well, I'm just gonna rant like a madman. Yeah, I was at work today, and it's I'm new at this job, and he's giving me attitude. So by the end of the day, I literally he started, and what is this? And I love to see that how these people. So you're not the only one that can have an attitude, bro. He kind of put his head down and walked away. Best for him that he did that. And again, this is a younger person. I don't know what's up with people nowadays. Quite honestly, I don't tell people where I'm at now that I have a podcast. It's like, hey, Charlie, your podcast. No, I don't do that. I keep myself. We're having a good day. It's just some people, there's always one person that has to be like, an ass. That's where they get their like self-worth. It comes from an insecurity. I mean, I'm not dumb. I know what's, and this past week, I mean, let's see, this weekend. Well, I had my birthday this weekend. So did my mother. We basically have the same birthday. It was kind of trippy. Yeah, Pam. You give somebody a little authority, and they, if he only knew. That's the thing. I'm in this small town now, and these people, like, for one, they've never been 5 miles down the road. You know what I'm saying? They don't know who I am because I'm actually a quiet, shy person if I'm not ranting. Lindsay, what's up? Thank you. I hate wearing my glasses. So let's see who we got here. We got Ruckus, we got Kid, we got Indy Pam, Lindsay, the whole crew. Everybody's here. I love this. This is my first live chat. I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start doing a live chat. Scotty Beers was like, at least once a week, you got to start doing a live chat. So, Time Wave Hero, hello, how are you? I'm going to start doing a live chat once a week, maybe more. You never know. But I did my podcast before I went to work yesterday in the morning, and I just didn't like the flow. I was like, man, it's too early. I can't. Now. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do a live chat after I get off work. I'll rant like a madman after work. So because I had to figure this out. Like, how do you do this? You have to figure out like the time and the. So I figured that out, and of course I am now, live chatting. And where I'm at, it's cold. Dude, I miss California. I miss the sun. I miss I'll say I miss the people. I miss cool people, creative people. Not that many creative people around here. But yeah, and also things to come, meaning like my podcast. I want to go out and about. I want to be doing more of this. I want to involve more people. Hello, Deja Vu. How are you? Um, yeah, I want to do more. I want to go out and about. Might maybe do some editing, maybe because I usually go live. I'm always going to do my live rant, But I thought that and also Scotty Beers. We got cooking with Scotty Beers. We've been trying to arrange a cooking with Scotty Beers. But let's see. You don't belong exactly, Lindsay. Yeah, I moved back here. Quite honestly, I moved back to Illinois just because it was cheap. I could afford it. It's like my rent in LA was a war debt, and I need someplace to decompose. I mean, decompress, decompress, um, and start my podcast. I got here in February. I started it in May. I wanted just to kind of chill, have a place that I want to be able to concentrate on my podcast for a couple months, and that's what I did. I didn't work. I didn't do anything. I was living off savings. I just wanted to, have a simple kind of, and a disciplined kind of thing. Yeah, decompose, right? A routine, be dedicated. So I only thought I was going to be here for yeah, don't I won't. Indie Pam, I won't decompose. I wanted to be, only here in Illinois for 3 or 4 months. But time marches on. Again, if it wasn't for certain aspects of living here, it wouldn't be so bad. But this town has changed. There's for one, there was a big mental health hospital facility here, like a big one, like a state one, that was closed down. They had a college in town that closed down. So the town is kind of dying. It's like a ghost town. And I think that's happening a lot in America, And a lot of people that I knew around here are gone or moved on, married or, got kids. I mean, I'm in my 50s. So, but yeah, I thought I'd be here for, I thought I'd be here for, 3 or 4 months. That's what I even told my landlord. I was like, hey man, I'm going to be here 3 or 4 months. Next month will be a year. So, and I'm planning on moving. I mean, I need to, come to Florida. Yeah, I used to live in Florida. I used to live in Largo. Yeah, I'd love to be in Florida. Yeah, NYC is expensive. I hear it's dangerous too. New York City. But you never know. You never know. But yeah, I moved here to start my podcast. Next month will be, I think, 9 months, 10 months I've been doing my podcast. I think this is so the last time I checked, I'd done 275 of these. So I think this is either 276, 77, maybe close to 280. Who knows? But I'm going to continue to do it every day. I haven't missed a day. And that's when I'm not feeling like it, sick, hungover. I just barrel through, And yeah, Lindsay, I love Florida too. I lived there for 10 years from the time I was basically 1 to 11. And I miss it. And I lived in California for 24 years. So it was I was used to sun and that kind of lifestyle, the whole, I had fruit trees in my yard, in the alley behind my house. There was all kinds of fruit tree, kumquats and tangerines. And there was cheaper fresh fruit too. Here in the Midwest, it's harder to get what I want or I need, I should say. And yeah, so the next plan is to move to probably St. Louis. My mother's there, and I used to live there too. When I lived in St. Louis, my family had a business, an antique store. I managed that. Yeah, Pinellas County, yeah, Largo. And when I lived in St. Louis, I was doing pretty good. I made a movie. I did a commercial that ran for 2 years. I studied at COCA, the Center of Contemporary Arts in St. Louis. I used to know a lot of people. I'm sure if I moved back and reconnected and, Hello, Tina. What's up? But yeah, probably St. Louis. Um, Wait till winter's over. I'm thinking like by May, I'm gonna be make the move, and we shall see. Maybe sooner. Who knows? But yeah, I do want to do more. I want to do not necessarily skits, but I want to go out and like connect with people. I'd like to talk to some like paranormal people, maybe true crime people. Um, I love paranormal stuff. I love true crime. I follow the Delphi case. I love watching even the most horrible UFO, Dogman, Bigfoot, ghosts. I love that stuff. Always have. I was really into like JFK, like Stuttering John. I have a funny Stuttering John. I've never met Stuttering John, but in the 90s, like early 90s, mid 90s, I was in a band and we were going to sign with Atlantic Records. Atlantic Records was like courting us. And unbeknownst to me, I didn't really know who Stuttering John was. I kind of did, but not really. That he had a band as well. He was on the Howard Stern show. And they contacted us like, oh, we're passing on you. We're signing Stuttering John. I was like, Stuttering John? Like, are you kidding? That's a gimmick. And they're like, well, if we can get like just 1% or 10% of his, following, it's a big, and that album failed. But I respect Stuttering John. I used to stutter. I was a stutterer. And he's accomplished a lot for like being a stutterer. I mean, shit. He did pretty good for himself. But I've seen him lately. He seems like he's drinking too much and he's going crazy. That's my humble opinion. Yeah, I don't like wearing my glasses, but I have to read this. I have to. Yeah, and I also want to. What's your thoughts about the meth angle? I think that something's up with that. With the Delphi thing, I think that there could be uh, CIs involved, confidential informants, meth. I mean, that area is just it's meth mouth. There's a lot of meth on. Maybe the girls stumbled upon something or knew something or whatever, because the crime, the Delphi murders, seems like it's a reactionary murder. It almost, I mean, I granted, maybe somebody was planning to do, I don't know. It just seems like, also, it seems like there's more people involved. You'd think that but maybe if they're CIs, they're covering for people. Who knows? But I'm fascinated by the Delphi case. What do you guys think? Yeah, I think there might be meth involved. I think there's a lot that we don't know. My gut tells me that something else is involved. Connected. Hello, Susie. Connected to Flora. Now, see, the Flora fire is weird too. It's in the same county. There's only like 23,000 people in that county. What's up with all this stuff? Why is the FBI there before all this? And then they happen to be, well, there was someone happened to be an FBI. You understand? It's a middle of nowhere, man. Like Carroll County. Isn't that what it is in Indiana? Like that county? It's just, but see, also it's easy. And I've said this before in my previous podcast. It's easy and cheap to buy out and corrupt local officials in a small little area like that. I'm sure there's cartel connections, all kinds of stuff. I mean, we live in this like, strange, mysterious world, and could be, very well could be. I have a feeling that there is stuff that they're not telling. I mean, like, obviously not, but there's stuff is, yeah, KK, most definitely. Probably involved. It seems like there was a catfish that got catfished. Oh, that sounds stupid. Someone catfished the catfisher. And if there was confidential informants, I don't know if they would cover for them, but to me, it seems like a lot of people might be a confidential informant. KK, TK, friend one, friend two, the cousin, hell, everybody. Well, that's how they solve crime. These low level criminals, petty criminals or drug, whatever. They're not masterminds, but they get caught up, and then they have to lower their charges. They become a confidential informant. But what do you guys think? I literally think that there's something they're not. I mean, granted, of course, we're not going to say everything, but it seems like they're holding back a lot of stuff. There's so many. Someone commented the other day on one of my videos, the Delphi video I did, that Tobe Levenby, his alibi for that day was that suicide cop. I mean, I never heard that. And supposedly Tobe's car was seen near the bridge or something. I don't even know. Or the parking. Who knows? And I'd heard a little bit about this cop that committed suicide, but is that true that that was his? That'd be suspicious if it was that his alibi, the dude, they gave him an alibi, committed suicide. And he was a cop. That's what's sad for one. But yeah, there's strange things. You gotta be careful, man. People are crazy. Even in this small, for one, you're in a small little area. This actually where I'm at is a lot bigger than Delphi, but where I'm at is small. There isn't any like there's nothing for people to look forward to. They've lived, you know what I mean? The people don't read books. They're surrounded by the same kind of small-minded people. People don't have any drive. And they don't have any ambition. So they'll get depressed, and they'll get low. They'll just get really low. Not everything to look forward to. You gotta have something to look forward to. Hello, Joanne. Good to see you. Yeah, don't forget to hit like. Yeah, please like, share, and subscribe. That's the best way to support the channel. If you do want to support the channel, it's an information's in the description for Cash App. My handle is charliegreerpodcast, and Zelle. That's my email. You can check it out in the description. But yeah, I think that there's a lot that's suspicious about this case, the Delphi case. It's really the only case that I follow. I was kind of late to the game. I knew about it, and I thought it was suspicious that they have the video. They have first it was a picture and audio, and then they can't find that guy. There's only 3,000 people around, and then they put billboards like all over America. I think that's why I think I was fascinated with the case. And then I knew about it. I had watched something about it, but I didn't. But then that night where the Anthony shots, they did Anthony shots. I just happened to be deep diving on like paranormal stuff and true crime, and somehow it was referred to me by YouTube, and I watched it as it went live, whatever it was. I happened to watch it the night it happened. And I was like, oh my God, that's that case. Started looking into it. It's like, dude, there's this there's something up. But then again, it could be simpler than we think. I was talking to Ruckus about corruption. And what my theory is, and what I've been around, I ran the streets of LA for 24 years. I knew good and bad and this, that, and other thing, powerful people. It's usually pre-crime, meaning, yeah, you can behind the scenes do some stuff, but once the crime is done, it's hard to corrupt people. Like as far as like all the law enforcement and all because you got to understand there's people that are, just the file clerks and it's tough. So, but pre-crime, yeah, you can do some stuff. You can cover up a little bit with your cronies. But as far as like corrupting a whole, everybody, that's especially in a small place. I mean, again, people don't want to talk. People are scared. But I think there's corruption going on. But pre-crime, meaning then afterwards, there's only so many levels of it's hard to get to corrupt a coroner, and that's stretching it a bit. But you never know. I mean, I don't know. Could the cartel? Supposedly, there's a time Wave Hero. There's secret clubs. I've heard there's cartel in that area too. Again, it's cheap. Property's cheap. This, that, and the other. Supposedly to pay people off, it's cheap. Again, people have been corrupted and paying people off since the beginning of time. Shit, you know. You would think that they wouldn't, but they do. They it's sad how people are. Yeah, I think they're honestly, I think that people are like, okay, let's just say, for instance, I don't know if this is true, you know, let's just say like people in their private life are swingers, like wife swap it, whatever they do. They might not know people outside of their kind of circle, and then they just don't want people to know, or say if they're bisexual or this, that, and the other. I mean, people have secrets in their life with their sexuality and this, that, and the other. So it's not necessarily a crime. It's just that they don't want, you know, people in the community think, you know, they want to hide, they want to, you know, protect themselves. It could just be like freaking swinger parties, man. You know, again, not a crime, but they just don't want people to think that they're freaks or whatever, and they will cover up certain things. Again, I don't know if a CI is involved with crime with the cops cover up for a CI. I mean, I was telling Ruckus to watch Prince of the City. It's our Street Williams. It's about New York City in like the 70s and how after decade they did what they would do is like using CIs, confidential informants. They would do like petty cover up, like, well, my CI is sick. He's a heroin addict and he's sick. He can't go in there and wear a wire up. So we got to give him a little bit of dope just to get him normal. You know, so they would do that little things, and that built up bigger, you know, but not huge. They thought that they were the FBI agent and visiting family doing yeah, see, but you again, don't take everything what people say just because it's on the news, just because people tell you. Don't really, you know, just because someone says it. Oh, it's on the news. I mean, I know, yeah, but see, I've been around corruption. I've been around people that were like, you know, I'm not going to say much, but believe me, people are corrupt. And it's just cronyism, nepotism, favoritism, like that kind of shit. That's technically corruption. But people will, you know, I just think that there's secrets in people's lives, maybe within the Delphi case. Might have to do with their sexuality, right? They don't want people to know, you know, so they'll cover up things. And again, that's just, and why I say that is because I've been around people that did that. Okay. I've been around powerful people that were kind of, you know, people are people, you know, people have like behavior and psychology and that's it, whatever. And I've been, yeah, I can't say much, but I've been around, don't believe everything you hear. That's what I'm trying to say. And it's a strange, mysterious world. Yeah, I think that there's some kind of something going on with people's sexualities and sex lives that are involved, that pertains to the Delphi murder. Maybe not necessarily they committed the murder, but they might know people loosely that, you know, that's what I think. Again, I'm not a true crime podcast. I'm all over the place. I'm ranting and raving about everything. It could be. It could be. I don't think that they said this was a sex crime, but you never know. I mean, perhaps, maybe. What do you guys think? I think it's strange that, like, what was it, like less than 24 hours after they were, they had so many CSI trucks, and I've communicated with certain people that said they actually found them that night and then just kind of put it off just to, because the scene was so strange or whatever. But I don't know. Doesn't it take like 24 hours? Hey, Jeff Jones, what's up? Doesn't it take 24 hours to like report a missing person? There was a lot of attention right away. That's why I think there might be a sting going on. Like it's a sting operation with other things involved. I don't know what they are. Maybe they're looking into something else, and then they happen to be there or around the area, and it involves the people that they might were suspecting. I don't know. Maybe. Perhaps. Let's just say that. But I get some yeah, Ruckus, they haven't officially no, they haven't released or confirmed or denied none of that. Yeah, yeah. Uh there's this strange things with this case. It's I think that more people are involved. I don't know who they are. Yeah, I don't know what to think either, Jeff. Mm. I have a feeling that they're gonna a lot of this will be sealed. Um, we're not gonna really know what happened, perhaps. Uh, Seems like they're sealing a lot and gagging a lot. And I watched this lawyer uh, on like ABC News or something. He was their like legal expert, and he says it's really abnormal in bigger cities to seal stuff like this. But lately, in smaller communities, people they get sealed and gagged. And he was saying that maybe because of it's such a small community, people are more involved. They want to cover stuff. Who knows? He said it's kind of strange that some of these cases that they're sealing and gagging everything. Like in the floor fire, they sued so they wouldn't release the 911 tape. Well, what's on that tape? It's a 911 call, isn't it? 911, man, help you. Oh my God. What would be on that? That would be so, we got to protect it because of the case. And that's what they're saying. And then they don't seem like they're even working on that case. What's up, Brad? Again, it's strange. I think that the floor fire needs to have a lot more attention. 4 girls. Huh? And didn't the guy that first got there, like the first responder, didn't they find like accelerant on him and in his car and all kind? I don't know. It just seems like yeah, I've never heard of a 911 either, Lindsay. I've never heard of a 911 tape getting sealed. And they sued. There was a court case where they spent like tens of thousands of dollars to seal. And it's the same prosecutor that's in the Delphi. That prosecutor in the Delphi and that county, I get a weird vibe from him. See, Robert Ives, the first one, he said right away, this will be solved within 24 to 72 hours just by regular physical evidence. Matter of fact, he said in the 60s, if they had the same evidence, they would have solved that easily. Now, what was he saying about regular evidence? Probably, witnesses, footprints, fingerprint, not modern, not DNA, he's talking about like old school detective work. Well, what was going on? I don't know. I know that in the tape, I don't know if it was Doug Carter, but I know that the prosecutor, what's his name? Shane? No, I forgot his name. But the prosecutor, who I think wasn't he a defense attorney? Now he's a prosecutor. It's weird. And he got the job because Robert Ives resigned. Well, why would he do that? That he was just like, oh man, I don't want to open this can of worms. Yeah, maybe he knew certain things. McClellan, yeah, Nick McClellan. I get a weird. He does a lot of tells. So one of the major tells, and you can look this up. I suggest everybody like go to YouTube or Google and look at tells. We've all got them. So when you have like fake concern, you'll raise your eyebrows. See how I'm raising my eyebrows? Like, oh yeah, oh the girl. People don't do that. That's a major tell. Body language. Look into body language. And I've watched some body language experts around this case, and they're popping up. They're like, oh, something. Again, especially, they're not sophisticated people in that community. I'm not trying to point the finger, but it's a small little town. Everybody knows everybody. Everybody could be connected somehow with just, dope or swinging or whatever it is. I think that's what they're covering up. I think they're covering up stuff that has nothing to do with the crime. It's just that some people might know each other. They just don't want them to know that they might know, each other, or just acquaintances even. You know, they're the upstanding citizen in the community. Yeah, well, and then the mayor. I think that the mayor's kind of weird, young dude. He has a lot of tells too. He now isn't he the assistant prosecutor or something? It's just strange. Uh, yeah, yeah, time wave, a lot of deception. I don't know. It just seems like there's a lot of coinkydinks. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do the. I mean, again, I don't want to focus on true crime because I'm really not that good at it. There's so many people that are, you know, and again, this case fascinates me. I know a lot of you guys because of you've watched my episodes on this case. Um, and yeah, Jeff, the ex-judge Curtis Fouts, the Lafayette Club. I've heard that. I've watched a video about them. Um, what is the motivation, Brad? What's the motivation? Well, again, I don't know. It seems like I know it was a brutal. They said it was really bad. The crime, obviously it's a murder. Did they stumble up upon something? Did they say they were going to talk about certain things? Did they figure out people were doing certain things? I don't know, drugs, meth. Um, yeah, why was BG on the down the hill? I mean, he was around for yeah. You wouldn't want to be sticking around a murder site, right? That's not. Ask any murderer or criminal. You want to get the hell out of there. You know, maybe accidental. It could have been. I don't think they're ever going to release the coroner's report, Ruckus. I don't think they're going to. They should, or at least redact it or something like that. But they've released coroner reports on every other thing. You know, I don't see why they wouldn't. Like, why would it hurt the case? You know. See, that's why I think there's certain. There might be a bigger sting going on. That Anthony Shots account might have popped off bigger and worse things with maybe people that are in power that were doing things that they don't want people to know about. Again, like deviant behavior is aggressive. It grows. It isn't like you can stay in that. You gotta, and now with the dark web and all this stuff, there's no telling what people are doing. They could be, Lindsay. They could be hiding something or someone. Yeah, I think there's more people than Richard Allen involved. I don't think he looks anything like the bridge guy or BG or whatever. Why did it take so long to find him after he came, and then we find out about the bullet. Well, what couldn't they go around and search records of who's got those guns? And it would take a while. But couldn't they go and talk to people that have that type of weapon, that has that uses that type of ammo? And I'm not I'm not law enforcement, but they've done it in other cases, right? They've shit. And for so many people to supposedly be involved, like the city, the local, and the county law enforcement, the state, the ISP, Indiana State Police, the FBI. What's going on? Why can't they, It seems like to me, if I'm not, I mean, isn't it hard to do crime? I mean, wouldn't they, wouldn't someone, come on, I don't get it. Yeah, was there a film made? I don't know. There's been rumors of that. But there's strange things that people don't really talk about anymore, like the arguing couple, flannel shirt guy. If he was so close to the proximity of the crime, see, there's all kinds of weird stuff. Ron Logan making an alibi for that certain time period. That's strange. um, uh, Anthony Shots, the ski mask guy. You need an Excel program to keep up with all this. It seems like this case is like a Rubik's cube. Every time you twist, it gets. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah. Oh. And couldn't they call other people in? Didn't the TBI, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, offer to help? Maybe that's what they did in GBI, Georgia Bureau of Investigation. They've helped other states. So did they? And that's how they caught Richard Allen. Was it just a clerical error? Was it just human error? And like, oh dang, we lost that paperwork, or I don't know. Yeah, who would? I mean, didn't they lose the video? They corrupted the video from the gas station. I heard they lost a fingerprint. There were so many people out there searching. I heard that they literally had to go through like all this DNA because people were like spitting. And how would they would know it's spit? I have no idea. Maybe they have a CSI light and urine. I guess people were like, they get out in the woods. You've been out there for a couple hours. It's cold. You might have to urinate. So I mean, is that what they? Is that what happened? Again, it's not corruption. It's just human error. It's just they weren't prepared. So many people tromping through those woods. Did the suspects or killers or perps or whatever hang around and act like they were searching? I don't know. And the bloody muddy guy, and again, they must have some stuff on Richard Allen besides this bullet that claims it matches a gun that they found. But he hired a lawyer that specializes in bullet evidence. He'll get it thrown out. There's another case that he had. It's basically the same thing. It was It had a bullet that supposedly matched the gun. Well, he got it thrown out in court, like a previous case. This lawyer. So I don't know. Then the judge kind of didn't he like rescind himself or whatever? Like, I don't want to deal with this. I mean, I get it. There's something else going on. I feel that there's a bigger sting operation going on. It was probably going on before Delphi. It might involve cartel. It might involve like trafficking. It might involve, yeah, they better have more. You're right, Jeff. They better have more than just what they claim on Richard Allen. Does he even look like the BG though? I mean, seriously, because I know at first they had a picture of he was short and stocky, that he was taller, and then, but I've watched that video. What is it? A second video? It's a second of video. Why won't they release more of it? And then there's that black thing that comes in and out. That might have been Abby's arm, but could it have been another person? Who knows? I've always said that Guys Down the Hill sounds like two recordings. It sounds like one is Guys, like a question mark, and then Down the Hill is like an exclamation point. So it's almost like that first Guys word is like, guys, you know me. I'd never do something like that. What? Like they almost recorded that in an interrogation room or an interview room. He's like, you know me, guys. I wouldn't be, why are you asking me this kind of stuff? You've already talked to me. But Down the Hill sounds like it happened like that day. I don't know. It's just a theory. RA equals BG. Could be. It just doesn't seem like, he doesn't look like, and wasn't there pictures of him? He always had like a longer goatee. Does BG have a goatee? I don't know. Yeah. It could be a psyops, Lindsay. You're right. And again, is the BG video even real? Would they leave it there on the phone? I mean, did they even know? Again, there's just so much stuff that doesn't make sense. I'd love to have a beer with Doug Carter, but I'm sure he would never say anything, but yeah, I have a feeling that there is something else involved. Maybe they're holding back because maybe the perps or suspects are actually involved in, I hate to say this, but like bigger fish, you know what I mean? Like, well, I mean, again, this could pop off a lot of things. They did admit that the Anthony Shots account opened up one of the biggest cases in Indiana history. So could it be, Jeff? The voice sounds more like someone Rick Allen's age than Ron Logan. Could be. Um, could they have been trying to frame Ron Logan? See, I think that that's a thing too. Fall guys and framing people. Well, that's all through criminal history. That's what they do. That's what criminals do. People think that's rare. That's not. People try to frame people all the time. And I think with DNA and stuff like that, it could be easier in evidence and, you know, dude, that's a thing. Give somebody a gun and then they own the gun and then they get raided. They own this gun and that gun's tied to like 3 murders. I mean, shit, why you can explain that? That happens. Patrice O'Neal, he was a comedian that I loved. He passed a while back, and he had a joke that he was like so scared about DNA evidence that he was scared to like throw down a Pepsi can or throw it behind a fence or something. And next thing you know, he's the Pepsi can rapist or some shit. Like he might land on a corpse, and he had a bit about it. It was hilarious. But framing does happen. Yeah, it does. You remember that joke, Jeff? Patrice, poor Patrice. Yeah, there could be a lot of things we don't. Of course, there's a lot of things we don't know, but I think that there's, again, a bigger sting operation going on. There could be inadmissible evidence that they have this, but they can't be. They know a prosecutor won't take it to court. Maybe that's why Robert Ives dropped out, because he knew he had this evidence and somehow knew that the judge. Who knows? But yeah, inadmissible evidence, framing, planted evidence. There's something about that BG video that just doesn't sit right with me. Yeah, I've heard that too, Lindsay. The Abby pick has yeah, a lot of people have said some of this stuff has been photoshopped. Yeah, I've heard that too. I watched a video on it as well. Yeah, wow, I'm on it. I'm almost at 45 minutes. That's crazy. Yeah, they do go fast. This is my first live chat. I think it's awesome. I'm going to go a little bit longer. I usually cut it off at like a half an hour, but oh well. Yeah, there could be trafficking going on. All sorts of trafficking. See, again, it is cheap to buy out. They've been doing that since the beginning of time, buying little small towns out, putting people in power. You don't have to live for like 5 years in a place, and you can run for office, And around the people never talk about this, but around the bridge, the Monon High Bridge, there's like mansions. Like there's some nice, rich people around there. Yeah, I heard about him being taken on. See, another thing, taken to a military base. Why would you do that? But I heard that in that area, that military base has some kind of facility where they do take like people, prisoners. I don't know. Again, you would need an Excel spreadsheet to keep up with this. You would need a secretary and an assistant. Okay, well, it's tough. Yeah, and the mayor, Shane Evans, like young mayor, he's got doesn't he have like his alibi is kind of iffy, He's got that strange walk too. I'm not saying he's involved, but I've seen him walk and he has that weird kind of bridge guy. Again, I'm not claiming he's involved. It's just that I think that Tobe has that kind of leg walk, and Shane Evans. I mean, granted, when I moved back to the Midwest, everybody sounds like bridge guy. That's another thing. People sound like guys down the hill. Everybody I'm around here, these old dudes. He sounds like he's older. Could be time wave, Hero. Could be. Yeah, very well could be. Yeah. The mayor has those BG legs. Watch him walk. He's got that strange walk where his right leg kind of crosses over, kind of strange. But I don't even know. My gut feeling tells me something's up with that video. Something's up with that bridge guy video. I don't know if it's planted. I don't know if it's been augmented or whatever it was. Well, for one, it was just a picture. And then they finally released 1 second of a video. Why would you just release one? You got more, release it. It also seems like it's been when you slow it down, it's morphing and doing all this stuff like, oh, well, see that. No, it seems like it's more, it seems like it was deliberately messed with to smear like the real identity. It could be, Lindsay. It could be an amalgamation for sure. So I mean, something's not right. Something is afoot, and hopefully they'll figure it out. I don't know. I have a feeling that all the while they've been trying to set this up where they can have a fall guy, or they can seal it and say, oh well, we thought and we know who it is, but now dang, we got to seal it. Nobody can ever see any kind of stuff. Or they're just on the wrong track. Again, all we're going with is speculation, assumption, humble opinions, people's opinions, and what like law enforcement have told us, or the TV or whatever, the talk box. Yeah, you hear PJ? Yeah. She does it when I'm live streaming. She likes to be heard. Let's see if we can get PJ up here. Let's see. Come here, PJ. There you go. There you go. There you are. There's PJ. There's PJ. Yeah. You want to see? Come here. Let's see. What's going on, PJ? Here's my dog, PJ. What are you doing, PJ? Yes. See? Look at that. I say PJ. PJ was found in Compton. And when I lived in LA, she was in Compton. I saved her. I've had PJ for like 11 years. PJ's like 11 or 12. Yeah, she's a sweetheart. Isn't that right, PJ? Yeah. But then she gets bashful. See, when she knows she's on camera, look at how bashful she gets. She don't want people to see. See, you don't want people to see you? Look right there. See? Right here. Yeah. Yeah. But of course, she wants to shake her little, she wants to shake her collar to make it, she wants to bug me. But yeah, PJ is a character. She's just a love sponge. She just wants to love, crawl and that and snuggle. Yeah, she's gangster. She is. Bigger dogs are scared of PJ. She's only like 10 pounds, and she doesn't know that she's so small. But yeah, she was found in Compton. Supposedly hit by a bus, because she's got like a bum hip, but I don't see how she could survive being hit by a bus. But that's what they told me. Found her on Craigslist. I went to animals or pets section. I typed in free dog. Bam! The first picture was PJ. She was a puppy, and she needed to be. She was she could hardly walk and had to. Yeah, Possum Junior. That's what that's what PJ stands for. Possum Junior. Because I had Possum, my other dog, and I had her for like 15 years. She passed. Then I mourned for a couple of years, and I got PJ. I was like, what am I going to name this dog? Well, Possum Junior. Then I thought that I'm not going to explain that. Yeah, PJ. Shorten it to PJ. What's your dog's name? Possum Junior. They think you're crazy. Possum Junior. Who is this madman? But yeah, I love dogs. My dog Simon, he died in October. I'm still kind of mourning. He was my buddy, and a roommate left him when I was in Los Angeles. I had a roommate. She up and left and left her dog. So I was like, well, I'll keep him. I had him for 6 years. He lived till he was 18. He was old when I got him. Grumpy and Snoop Dogg. Yeah. PJ's got a fan club. People love PJ. But yeah, I'm gonna call it a night here. Almost at 50 minutes. Thanks for everybody for showing up. Again, I'm gonna start doing these. I'm gonna start doing like a live chat maybe once a week. Um, and yeah, I never because I didn't want people to show up. I don't know how to have a moderator or any of that kind of stuff. And I love y'all too, man. I really do. Thank you, Ruckus. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Lindsay. Thank you, Brad. Thank you, Time Wave. Thank you, Andy Pan. Thank you, everybody. If I miss anybody, Tina. But I love y'all. Thanks for thanks for showing up. I'll be back tomorrow. Maybe not live streaming, but you can always find me on here. I love y'all. Be blessed. Thank you, Joanne. Cheers.